"Hey Dad," wink, "wanna go see my new science project?" Wink. And he said, "No," wink, "but I sure don't want to eat this crappy breakfast." And then they both laughed.
I remember that. Oh god. Homer's the best.
Giant blue afro, no keeper indigo. Sarah Carl thug life, flowing out the indigo. Answer every question asked, fat stacks of bad cash. Listen, ain't no vision, tell me here to win Division 1.
Alright, welcome to episode 6 of Giant Afro FC. I'm Thug Life.
And I'm Sarah.
And this is Giant Afro FC.
Why did we do that?
Which I just realized that I said, welcome to episode 6 of Giant Afro FC, and we're like, I'm Thug Life, I'm Sarah, and this is Giant Afro FC, which I just said. So I need to change up the intro a bit. Okay, this is a podcast where we're trying to win Division 1 with absolutely no keeper in goal, answer the mysteries of the universe, and make fat stacks of advertising cash. This episode we're going to be talking about The Simpsons. But first...
Yes!
Yes!
Yes, we're coming back! It's happening!
Oh yeah! I didn't choose the Thug Life chose me. Okay, so...
We're back on it, man.
We're back, and being back on it, brought to you by MG Rechargeable AAA Batteries. MG Batteries. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Charge. Legal disclaimer, batteries are provided as is without any express or implied warranty of any kind, including warranties of merchantability, non-infringement, or intellectual property or fitness of any particular purpose. In no event shall the manufacturer of the suppliers be liable for any damage whatsoever, including without limitation damages for loss of profit, business interruption, or loss of information, sickness, and or death arising in it. I'm like, I know we're about making money, but this is just too much, right?
That was way too much. I was like, what's happening?
I'm just going to refund these guys their money and not take their ad because, you know, I care about having a premium listening experience for, you know, our YouTube fans and subscribers, and so I'm not going to sell out to these battery fat cats.
Battery. The Energizer Bunny is like smoking a cigar, throwing not even dollar, but 20s out the window.
Seriously.
That's all I'm imagining.
They've got them enough.
Battery fat cats.
Okay, but man, we started off this episode brightly, 1-0 so far, after 2 games of getting absolutely shellacked. After last episode, I really wanted to quit the podcast and just never play FIFA again. I was so depressed about it.
Oh no.
No!
Oh, yes!
All right.
Although we get flagged.
Offsides, nice. So I think this will be the first episode that you score a goal. How do you feel about that, Sarah?
I can do it.
All right.
If they're really, really terrible about it, maybe I can do it.
That's the spirit. Right. So, we're well on our way to winning Division 1 with FIFA. We went through the first season, Division 10, 4-0. Pure forfeits because people were so just embarrassed by us dominating them. We started a little bit rocky in Division 9, but there's Max Power about to turn things around. Nice. So, today's episode is about The Simpsons. Have you ever seen that show?
The Simpsons? Yeah, of course. Do you know who I am? Max Power over here. Oh God, I love The Simpsons. I almost wish I was born in 1989 just so I could say that I was born the year The Simpsons was released, but
oh, wow.
Alas, I was not born in 1989. But I've always been like, damn it, if only I was a year younger, I would be the most happiest person in the world.
That's some serious fandom right there. Me too. I really like The Simpsons, and I remember, I was just thinking about this, that my sisters and I would watch The Simpsons for 1 full hour after school every day, 5 days a week, for maybe like 7 years of our childhood. And
Wow.
If you think about it, The Simpsons has had more influence over our brains, over our young, influential brains than any other single entity. More than church, more than school, more than even my parents, because my parents loved us, but they didn't talk to us for 1 hour straight with us listening to them, and that's exactly what happened with The Simpsons for 7 years. So,
I have something pretty, similar. Like, I grew up with 3 older brothers, and like not very much connected us other than video games and The Simpsons. Like to this day, if we're ever like all together for Christmas or Thanksgiving, we usually just sit down and watch like a marathon.
That's
And
awesome.
yeah, that's all we ever do when we're together is watch The Simpsons. And even then, like, you know, we're on Facebook, we're on groups. Fuck you! Don't nod your head at us. I hate you. I hate you so much. Team Blue, Dark Knight, more like Dark Dummies. I don't know what that meant. No, that was no one was over there. Why did I do that? Okay.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
We got
And
this. We got
sad, yeah, I do think we got it. Sadly, the controller issue of it lagging from episode 6. Well, we should forever refer to episode 6 as the episode that shall not be named, because that was the worst episode in history. But my controller's lagging again, so I'm gonna try to get into good position, pass it over to you, and you can fire it home for the win.
No, at this point you need to account for your lag.
Okay, just see the future is what I'll do. That's what'll be my strategy.
Please do. No, me and my brothers are still like we're on like Facebook and we'll like group chat and we'll like send each other memes. To this day, we still like you know, try to like keep each other on our toes. We have like little trivia nights, or my brother actually does. He works at a bar and he does like once every few months they'll do a Simpsons trivia night, and we'll get together and like think about questions to ask, like really difficult questions, really obscure questions. Keeps us on our toes, you know.
So out of
If you hadn't invited me to do this podcast, I probably would have like really tried to get my own like Simpsons podcast out.
Oh, nice. You still should do that, because if episode 6 is any indication, this podcast is going to fail miserably.
What do I do?
Okay, just push the circle button and kick it as hard as you can into the top right corner to make us to score goals. You can do this. Nicorette can help. And I'll try to distract the goalie.
Nope, I already messed that up.
It's alright. You tried your best and you failed miserably. The moral is never try. Speaking of which...
So, yeah, no, there's so many Simpson podcasts out there. Props to y'all. I wish I thought of that a million years ago. There's so many good ones, too. Ugh.
So, converting this into a Simpsons podcast for the day, what would you say are some of your favorite Simpsons moments or quotes?
Quotes?
Mm-hmm.
Or moments? I mean, there's really great episodes, right? Like, I feel like the more popular quotes, the more popular episodes are always like the monorail, right? Hank Scorpio, anything with Bleeding Gums Murphy. I kind of like more like a weirdly obscure things, like. You know, I'm max power on this because, you know, the episode Homer to the Max, where that episode where that new TV show comes out and his name is Homer Simpson and his like catchphrase becomes "Uh-oh, SpaghettiOs." Like, just that quote. Even just saying "Uh-oh, SpaghettiOs" on like my daily life is like so like pleasing to me. And it's so simple. Like, if you didn't know that "Uh-oh, SpaghettiOs" was like that part of The Simpsons, like probably people would just be like, "You're a weirdo."
Yes, I had no idea what you were talking about, and I love The Simpsons. Is that where your tagline?
My avatar.
Yeah, I had no idea what that reference was from. So what's the quote?
Is also, you don't cuddle with max power. You strap on and you feel the G's. It's the episode. Yeah, that's the same episode. Homer to the Max. I think it's like in season. Oh, what season is that? Maybe like season 10.
Nice. Okay, I'll have to go back and watch that. I like that you mentioned that you like some of the more obscure things like Bleeding Gums Murphy, because when I first started watching The Simpsons, I feel it was all about like Bart being rude. Like, you're like, oh, this is awesome. He told that guy to eat his shorts. But then you realize as it goes on that's like, maybe that's how it was at the first couple of seasons, but just Homer is what The Simpsons is all about, and some of like the more obscure
Oh,
side characters like Chief Wiggums or Moe and all these different just great characters that are able to somehow develop such an identity with just tiny little bit parts over the years.
dude, best one, like just one episode, right? One episode, and so much came out of this one character, and it like describes so much about Homer. Can you guess which character I'm talking about?
I
Like
cannot.
defines Homer. This one character defines Homer. Frank Grimes, Grimy
Oh
Grimes.
yes, that was excellent. Grimy, as he liked to be called by his friends. Oh,
He lives below a bowling
yes.
alley above another bowling alley. Good job. I'm fist pumping. I'm fist pumping. Yeah, I believe in you.
That was you, right? First goal.
No, that
Excellent
wasn't.
work, Sarah. Header.
No, that
That's
wasn't me.
beautiful.
That wasn't me.
Your hair looks slightly more blonde than normal, though.
This is not me.
It's
I
J-Lo?
wish it was me. Ooh, I'm so glad we have someone named J-Lo on our team. I
Excellent.
always believed in you, J-Lo. I have a friend named J-Lo. Let's see.
Back to the winning ways. My favorite episode, or my favorite moment from The Simpsons, comes from the episode about muesli. Well, it's not really muesli. It was some different version of muesli that they were calling some weird European cereal. So I'm going to explain the scene, and every time I say wink, they're not actually saying wink, they're actually winking. So
Okay.
Marge made this breakfast, and she wanted them to try it. And everybody, just from the looks of it, it looked disgusting, and nobody wanted to try it. So Lisa said, "Hey, Dad," wink, "want to go see my new science project?" Wink. And he said, "No," wink, "but I sure don't want to eat this crappy breakfast." And then they both laughed. And then he stuck his head back around the corner and winked at Marge. It was great.
I remember that. Oh god, Homer's the best.
He is.
One of my favorite is also Homer Palooza, where like he goes to Lollapalooza, and he's trying to be hip again, and he meets Billy Corgan, and Billy Corgan's like, "Billy Corgan, smashing pumpkins." Homer Simpson, smiling politely.
Good stuff.
So I really want to get a Simpsons tattoo, and
Oh,
if
really?
if I ever find my soulmate, like he has to get a Marge Simpson tattoo. And I'll have Homer, he'll have Marge, and it would make me the happiest person ever.
That's awesome. So, like a sleeve of Marge? A sleeve where, like, oh, the sleeve is just her giant afro? Whoa, I just realized Marge is the original giant afro FC.
This is like you're tapping into your subconscious now. Like
Yes, I've got a
maybe
blue
there's
afro just
something
like Marge. Okay, here you go. Passing you the ball.
That isn't me, but thanks.
I tried my best.
I really need to get like some defining features. See, gingers just like bleed into the crowd. Every white person looks like a ginger now. Sorry, gingers. I'm always ragging on you.
But I
Oh,
think
nice
you rag
try.
on them with love because last episode, or the episode which shall not be named, you said that you wish that you were a ginger.
I know. It really is just me being bitter. All my ex-boyfriends always loved gingers.
Oh.
There's an episode of The Bully. They speed in gingers. There's one of the only. I'm trying to think of all the gingers I can think of in The Simpsons. And there's that one where Francine, the bully, comes on, and they make oh god, I can't remember the name of the thing. Point dextrose. Do you remember that episode?
Nuh-uh.
There's an episode where like Lisa's trying to find out like why she always gets beat up like by Francine, who's like this new girl, and she really wants to be Francine's like friend. She's like Francine's like super nice to everyone except for all the nerds. Like she beats them up, and she discovers that like nerds have like a pheromone that they.
Oh, yes, I remember.
Yeah, it was a really good episode. Yeah, so I'm just bitter. I'm just bitter, and I want to beat up the Francines of the world. Okay.
All right, we're gonna win this. We're up 1-2 with Okay, here we go. Time for you to score a goal, or you can push triangle.
I just fell. I pressed triangle way too late. Okay, what's another? Okay, what are some other good things that you like? Oh God, do you remember? So I know everybody like rags on the later seasons, but like season 11, 12, and 13 are pretty good. You know, I definitely love season 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and like all the early seasons, but like mid seasons are pretty good. I kind of stopped at like season 16 probably. I have not seen any of these new episodes. But I should. If I'm a true Simpsons fan, I really should just keep watching. But
Yeah, I really like the middle seasons as well. My favorite episode of all time was the one that started. It had these interweaving storylines, 3 different storylines, and it started out after the first commercial
is it
break.
Lingual?
Yes, it was
It's the
just
Lingual episode.
masterful. It was so well written. It was basically classical art, like the level that they brought the
You know,
Simpsons to.
well, you do know it's a rip-off of a movie. Like a lot of those things are
I
like
did
the
not
box
realize
movies.
that, and that makes me lose tons of respect for it. Because I thought the Simpsons
no,
had just like
no.
created the greatest work of art of all time. What movie is it from?
It's Run Lola Run.
Oh, okay. I'll have to check that out.
It's a parody of Run Lola Run. I mean, like the storyline has nothing to do with Run Lola Run, but the aspect of like all these different characters having like a different storyline, and like the full scene with like them Homer running. Oh god, that's just such a good. I'm
Okay.
so glad you brought that up. I'm like so excited to talk about that episode. I freaking love that episode.
it is
where
the
he's
best. When he's like, what?
Oh god, I'm trying to remember the quote. I don't want to butcher this quote, but I'm like I got so excited. I'm already gonna like not remember it. Fuck. So.
There were so many great quotes, like when Marge accidentally cut off his thumb, and she's like, sorry, and he's like, sorry doesn't put thumbs back on hands, Marge. And when Lisa was correcting Linguo, or no, Linguo corrected Lisa for in a sentence fragment, and she said something, and he was like, sentence fragment. She was like, sentence fragment is also a sentence fragment. And he was like, shutting down to conserve battery power.
Did you see that? That was really
that was
good of me.
awesome.
Oh,
You like juked that guy out. It almost made
Yeah.
it too. It's unlucky.
No, but what's the quote where he's like, God, I'm trying to remember the first part of it. I don't remember the second part. I'm like failing as a Simpsons connoisseur now. Basically, he's like, I thought Linguo was a party robot. He's like pouring beer into Linguo. But there's a quote before that makes him do so.
Yeah,
Linguo like beer. Linguo likes beer. No. I
Oh
don't remember it, but-
yes, yeah. 'Cause Lingo was correcting his verb conjugation, and then
Yeah.
he's like, "Oh," and so he poured it down, and his head exploded. And he's like, "I thought Lingo was a party robot." Great.
Or the very end, where like Linguo dead, Linguo is
dead.
God, that's such a good episode.
I love The Simpsons. I'm
season?
happy they exist. They made my life much better.
Dude, I think what they've like brought politically into the table is like, I remember reading an article because I try to keep up with like as much of like behind the scenes of The Simpsons as I can as well, because I was too young for a lot of this stuff. But in like 1992, who was it that said? Was it Bush? I think Bush had said something along the lines is like, the Simpsons need to be more like the Walton, or like the America needs to be more like the Waltons and less like the Simpsons. Like, to have a presidential nominee, like just like throw that out there, you know, like, and the Simpsons, the next episode, like the Sunday after he said that, they already had like a retort in their episode.
Oh really?
The episode starts off with them watching TV and Bush says something like, or like they're watching TV and they're like, wow, we're so much like the Waltons. Like, and just like, I don't know, we're like,
We were gonna win.
That's
We were
really
gonna win.
exciting.
We can still win. We just need to go right now, and that was almost a
Am I
good
going the
time.
right way?
Yeah,
I forgot which way I'm going. I got really excited.
we're going from left to right, and we can still win this. We got 5 minutes to score the winning goal. Yes, yes. And we're gonna do it right now.
God damn it.
Oh, offsides. Okay, we can still do it. Only 3 minutes left. Can we do it?
I believe in you. You have to get this. I'm not going to get this.
That would be great
I
if we
really
won the
want
goal. If we won the game, because no, no. Aww.
So sad.
Oh, now they're taunting us in our faces. I'm so
No,
sad.
okay,
We were
just
gonna
think.
win. Okay, we can at least come back for the tie.
Yeah, come on. We gotta get back for a tie.
All
Think of
right.
all the Simpsons, the fond memories of the Simpsons you could think of, and let it push you towards a goal.
Okay.
You'll be letting down a whole. Uh, uh.
Yes, yes, we got it. Yes.
Okay,
Okay,
go,
here we
go,
go.
go, get it, get it, get it. I'm running up to you just in case. You got this. I believe in you.
No! The guy blocked it by falling down on it. That was so lucky. Oh.
No.
Okay, we can still do it. We can still get the tie. Okay. Oh, we have a question from a reader that we could answer real quick in the last minute. So this question comes from YouTube viewer. I guess not a reader, he's a watcher. Unless he turns on the subtitles and just reads it rather than watching the video, which is also a viewing option. But so from Mr. Freely 1989 asks, which would win, 1 trillion lions or the sun?
What if 1 trillion lions were on the sun? What if the sun is made of 1 trillion lions?
Ooh,
What do
something
you mean? Which is better? Which is what was the question? Which is better? Which is
which
stronger?
would win? Which would win?
In what? Win what? Like a game of poker? Or like no! Which would win in FIFA? I'm sorry, but I don't understand this question.
I don't care. This user that submitted this question, please unsubscribe and never watch the show again. You caused us a
Yeah, we hate you for asking that question now. What kind of question is that?
We were so close. We were winning 2-1 for most of the game, and then they come back in the last minute. Well, I guess it's not quite as bad as the episode which should not be named. We kind of turned it around there.
Yeah.
What do you think? Should we recruit some FIFA help? But I feel like every single game you're getting exponentially better. So maybe, like, I mean, we lost terribly the first game of Division 9. Last game not so bad. This game we almost won. So I don't know whether we recruit some new help or not. We are getting better, and I think we still can hold out hope that we're going to win the Division 1 championship.
We got this. I mean, I'm okay, viewers. I'm pretty bad, but it's only because I don't play off of what we're recording. Like, I don't play this at all. I always just play
this was
like
your
Overwatch.
first 6th game or your 6th game ever. So
yeah. So give me a break. Don't judge me harshly, but I'm getting there. Okay.
All right. Well, kind of a anticlimactic finish to what was otherwise a pretty good episode about The Simpsons.
Yeah, I'm still pretty thrilled. Anytime I could talk about The Simpsons is a really good day for me. And also, like, I feel like I did not even get to talk. Like, we barely, like, scratched the surface. We need to, like, do this again in a few more weeks.
Yes, this was this was episode about The Simpsons, part 1 of 15. So join us next week for continuing coverage of this. No, not really. That would be a great idea for a podcast, though. Cover every single episode.
They do. There's a podcast that does, and it makes me so sad because they're like so good, and I want to be like, please let me. If you're listening out there, please get me on this freaking podcast because they're amazing, and I just want to talk to them about. I think they're barely on like season like 4 or something, 3 or 4. So if I can get on season like 7, 8. Season 11 has Behind the Laughter, which is one of my favorite episodes ever.
Oh, that was great. The Simpsons started on a wing and a prayer, and now the wing was on fire, and the prayer had been answered by Satan.
And that horrible act of child abuse became one of the most beloved running gags. And then I like how oh god, I could talk about that one episode for like 5 hours. So please get me on that show. Let me find out what it's called really quickly so I can get on it.
I just had an idea also, though. You said you could talk about that one show for 5 hours. What if you did a Simpsons podcast where every single minute was the subject of a full podcast? So Simpsons episode 1.
I would never finish it. It would never. There's like, you know how many episodes there are? I would never even go past season 2 in my lifetime or something. Right? How many?
Yeah, I guess just pick your favorite episode, like the Behind the Laughter, Simpsons Behind the Laughter, minute by minute, and you do 24 hour-long episodes about each minute of that show. Oh, Carl just sent a message.
I think it's this one. I think it's called Talking Simpsons. Okay, it might be Talking Simpsons or it might be The Simpsons Show.
Either way, Let's get Sarah on as a guest. All of our listeners, please visit their YouTube page and spam them with comments about how they need to have Sarah on as a guest until they finally relent.
Yeah. Get me on. You guys can play FIFA if you want to play FIFA with
Oh
us.
yeah, we'll invite them on as guests. This will be a good quad. I mean, there's tons of overlap in the audience of The Simpsons and FIFA.
Wait, before we leave, we have to end it on what's your favorite Treehouse of Horror?
Okay, I'll go first because mine is a lame answer. My answer is none of
Okay.
them because I'm such a wimp that I would never watch them because they scared me. They were too gruesome.
No, really?
Really, I just couldn't deal with it. The Simpsons are so happy and just like everything about them brings me joy, except when I see the Treehouse of Horrors and they're like their eyeballs are falling out and getting sliced in half and things like that. And I can't have the Simpsons in that context existing simultaneously in my mind. But I know that I know that people love them, so I'm probably missing out on some comedy gold. But yeah, I'm just too much of a wuss to enjoy Simpsons Treehouse of Horrors. What about you?
Oh, God, the first one, season 2. They had, like, that was the best one. I think it was just because it's the first one. It's so nostalgic. They had, that was the one with the Raven, with James Earl Jones. Like, just like, having Darth Vader's voice. And I used to write a lot of poetry when I was young. And I definitely didn't appreciate this episode until, like, much later in my life. But, The Raven was one of the only, like, poems that I fully remembered all of it at one point in my life. Like, I was super obsessed. I was super gothic, and I was like, Edgar Allan Poe is my boyfriend, and, you know, like, I was just, like, super morbid. I went through a really hardcore gothic phase of my life. And so that, also, Hungry Are the Damned was the one with, it's where they where they get abducted by the aliens, and they think that they're trying to eat them. And then there's that, I used to watch a lot of horror movies, so there's that, like, rip-off of Amityville Horror. Okay, either way, you should definitely watch it. It's not as gruesome as all the other ones. What was my favorite?
Okay, I'll give it a try, and I'll watch it and report back next time on if it ruined my life or if if it was funny.
Although my favorite quote in a Treehouse of Horror is from season 9, and it's like a witch trial version. I remember Lisa saying, "Doesn't the Bible say judge not at least one unless you be judged?" Something like that. And he's like, "The Bible says a lot of things. Shove her," and they like push her off the cliff. It's super funny. I don't know why I have that in my head. I just like that I like one of the best parts of The Simpsons is that they go to church every Sunday, but the entire show they're always just ripping on the Bible and just like ripping on church. Like, it's so good. Okay.
All right. On that note, all right. Any last thoughts for our viewers this week?
Just get me on a Simpsons show. And also, please start watching our other episodes. We have so many on episode 1, and nobody cared to watch any other episodes.
That's kind of a bad sign, huh?
Except the one that shall not be named. Don't watch that episode.
Yes, never watch that.
We'll post it, but never watch it.
All right. On that note, I'm Thug Life.
And I'm Sarah.
And this was Giant Afro FC.
That's how I feel about it right now.
Giant blue afro, no keeper indigo.
Bye.
Sarah called thug life, flowing out the indigo. Answer every question asked, fat stacks of bad cash. Listen, ain't no vision, so we here to win Division 1.